All right, hey, what's going on, Free Emerge? All right, so, this morning I was speaking to an associate of mine, and I got to a place again where I realized we are not on the same frequency. We are not on the same, psychological train of thought. And I had this idea from a young age to build my business, to build my career, and to have real goals that are achievable, that are attainable, that are not astronomical, that are not 1 in a million. And I don't even disrespect anybody who have goals and dreams that are really big. But whenever he talks to me about these lofty goals that are not, he talks to me about these lofty goals that don't have no structure behind them. He always talks about getting rich from a very fantasy perspective. And it is nothing realistic. He's not doing nothing realistic to make his dreams become true. And every time I speak to him, he's talking about these lofty goals of being a rapper, lofty goals about doing. He said now again, and I gotta separate myself from him because he really is in his own fantasy world. He is not doing nothing realistic every day to go build his dream, and it's and his goals and his vision. And one of the reasons why I have to stay away from men, especially men like that, because they bring so much confusion. And that's what I felt like this morning when I was speaking to him. I felt confused. I felt like, what are you talking about? And I'm learning to stay away from people who bring me to a place of confusion. And yeah, that's a prime one right now. And you know what's crazy? That's why I left my friend's house, because she was bringing me to a place of confusion where I didn't know what was next. I didn't know, and yeah, I could have been more present. Yeah, I could have worked in the moment, but there was a lot of confusion on her part. And there was and that's what I learned about Piscean behavior. They bring a lot of confusion. When they're not grounded, they're very confused. And it's almost I would even almost say idiotic. Where it's huh? What? What are you talking about, B? And it's they wanna sound wise sometimes, but it's wisdom with confusion. And it's not practical. It doesn't make sense. It's not material. It's not, they don't gain nothing materially, but it's all these ideas and thoughts and feelings and emotions, and it's nothing solid to make shit a reality. And it makes a whole lot of sense of nothing. And they be all in their head doing nothing. And I realized that when I was talking to him, all I left the conversation feeling was confused. And I get why I stopped talking to him for a while, or I don't talk to him for long periods of time, because he's confusing. One day he's doing this, and it says 666, so divine balance. One day he's doing this, one day he's doing that, and he has a whole bunch of esoteric knowledge, but it's my nigga, where does that manifest in your life? You're prospering, not you're just surviving. And I had to one of my biggest issues with him is that I want to transfer the esoteric knowledge that we have to thrive, not survive. So I had to ask myself, when we was talking about, oh, the law of attraction is bullshit, and he had a good point where he's like, the title, law of attraction, has a lot of spells around it. There's a lot of mindsets around it. So there's a lot of confusion around it. And I don't disagree there. But my thing is, the process is still real. So what are you doing with the process that of manifestation? What are you doing about that? And the answer is not a motherfucking thing. So when I tell them about the vision boards, the vision boards, seeing your future, etc., etc., I said, yo, I get why you're at the bottom. You were at the bottom for so long, because you never put a vision board up. You never see the images. You never took the opportunities. You were robbing, and like he was doing all this like low vibrational stuff, and I was thinking to myself, I understand why you were where you were for so long. And he's cool people. He's a good dude. But like I've learned about this Piscean energy, it's such a confusion. He has 3 major planets in Pisces. He brings such confusion because it's like, bro, what you're saying is not realistic. And what I say was realistic, meaning it's not the opposite side, Virgo. It's not day to day. He doesn't like to acknowledge his Libra rising. And that's what I hate. Like, when I say he doesn't like to acknowledge it, he doesn't like to put it into practice. Meaning he's a Libra rising for a reason. And what he's not understanding is that he got to be able to balance out his energy. So what that means is if he's too deep in the Piscean world, he got to bring back balance and go into the Virgo nature of day-to-day work. Like, you can't be so deep in the esoteric that you don't know what your daily routine is. You don't know what your morning ritual is. You don't know what your night ritual is. So you can manifest using the esoteric knowledge. And I had to or if you're too Leo-like, where you're about me, you need to flip it and say Aquarius and say what can we do? You get what I mean? And like it's frustrating because he's so. I see that 444. Ashe. So I had to understand there was a level of arrogance that come with. I know a whole lot of knowledge and all this other stuff, but I'm like, bro, what are you doing to create that? And I want to call him and go back and forth, but I know all he's gonna do for me is bring me confusion, because his Mercury's in Pisces. All he's gonna communicate to me is confusion, because he's not balanced. And that's what I learned. Like, that's what I learned about Libra rising. If you have Mercury in Sag or Pisces, if you're not balanced, all you're gonna do is bring a whole bunch of confusion and philosophical bullshit. That's a whole video. If you're a Libra rising and your Mercury's in Sag or Pisces, if you're not balanced, all you're gonna be talking is just philosophical, deep spiritual bullshit, and it's not gonna be nothing that brings stuff into reality. Like meaning like you're not going to be manifesting for real. You're not going to be dominating the earthly plane. You're just going to be talking a whole bunch of hubbub, or you're not going to fulfill your highest potential. You're just going to sit there and just talk. You're going to sound so fucking good to people who want to hear your conversation. But when I started asking him like stuff like, yo, bro, so he said he's a rap god, right? He does music. And I said, okay, so where's your body of work? You can't say you a rap god and you don't got no body of work. Like, I get it. He was like, oh, I hit the top echelon of music and all this other stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. But where's your body of work? I want to analyze it for myself. Where's your songs? And he sent me one that he made 5 months ago from a song that he made like 4 years ago. I'm like, bro, come on now. Come on now. Come on now. That's that bullshit. Come on now. Come on now with that bullshit. And every time I asked him about results, he didn't have an answer. And that shit would make me so fucking mad on the phone. I'm like, here you go with that bullshit. It's deeply spiritual bullshit. And where are your goals, my nigga? The fuck? That's out of balance. You can't talk goals. You can't talk everything. Like, for instance, Cancer represents divine knowledge, right? And Capricorn is more earthly wisdom. Saturn's more earthly wisdom. Yeah, that's how I would word it, right? So you can't talk all this Cancerian divine knowledge from the heavens, from the moon, but you're not bringing that back down to earth and saying, I'm gonna make that shit a reality. You can't act. Let me give you an example. You can't tell the moon, because I've done it. You can't tell the moon, yo, I want to make enough money to pay my bills every month. And then the moon replies to your request, and then an opportunity shows up 2 days later, and you say, no, that's not for me. What? And then you go back to the moon like, yo, what's happening? I can't pay my bills. It's like, bitch, we just gave you an opportunity. You tripping. And I had to understand that, it took him a minute for him to understand, like, yo, you're out of that. Like, he does not acknowledge his rising sign in his life and the role it plays in his life. Like, I'm a Leo. I'm a lion to the world. So even though I have a Scorpio North Node and I gotta share resources, I gotta be a lion and get what the fuck I want out this world. I gotta go hunt some shit. And then when I hunt some shit, then I find somebody I can share with. I can't keep saying, oh, I'm just gonna wait for somebody to share with. What the fuck? I'm a lion. Where they do that at? We lions don't wait to eat. Lions go hunt they shit. They go eat they shit. They don't give a fuck how bad they gotta start. They say, yo, I gotta wake up early so I don't. Lions like every time I'm about to go listen to that video again. Lions go hunt they food. They wake up early and they stay late at night because they don't know when they gonna eat that day. Their meal could come late at night. Their meal could come late in the day. All of that. So, and he's a Libra. He filters the world through partnership. He filters the world through relationships. Boy, he's annoying. I can't even talk to that nigga because he is confusing. What, I don't know what he be talking about. Because let me give you an example, right? Here's the thing that I be saying. You gotta understand the polarity of relationships. Hold on. You gotta say, okay, so here's what I say, the polarity of relationships, right? He does Forex, right? Alright, cool, say less. So here's why I say we are not on the same frequency. June 29th of 2020, I came from a speaking engagement from a guy who's in network marketing. He's a chairman 10, making over $10,000 a month. And he didn't do what with social media. And I was teaching his team social media marketing. And I'm sitting here talking to this guy on the phone at 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and he's taught himself Forex. And every time I talk to him, he's bullshitting me. Like, he's inconsistent. Every time I talk to this young man, he's inconsistent. He's all over the place, and he's never finishing anything. And he says law of attraction is bullshit. Fuck the vision board. Da 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 da. Let me tell you something. I went to this guy's house who's making over $10,000 a month. Do you know he has a vision environment? He has pictures all over his wall. He has where he wants to be. He wants the title in the company of where he wants to grow. He has his. I get a lot of messages from Forex people. Okay. He has messages from. That may be in your chart, but anyway. So I know I'm supposed to be trading in the near future. So So he has visions all over his wall. He has his compensation plan written on his his bathroom mirror. He has his compensation plan written on his shower mirror. And I said, this guy is making $10,000 a month, and he's mentored by a millionaire directly. Why am I listening to this guy who's broke, who's barely living, who's inconsistent, who's not where I want to be? And it's not to disrespect him, but it's like, bro, why am I listening to you again? Because you're confusing. And then on top of that, you're not really manifesting the way I care for you to manifest. So this is with your sphere of influence. I don't care about what you're talking about. I don't care about, we have good conversation, yes. We have great conversations, even in our differences. But I'm like, bro, what are you really talking about for real? If you're not achieving if year after year after year, you're not achieving your goals, year after year after year, you're in the same you're basically in the same position. Sorry. Like, what are you really talking about for real? When year after year, I'm making slow progress, like dead ass. Every time he talks to me, I got something new to say. Dead ass. Every time he called me, which is probably he probably called me and that's exactly correct. He's a spirit of confusion. Every time I speak to him, that is exactly correct. He is a spirit of confusion. Every time he speaks to me, I got something new going on in my business, because that's where I spend most of my energy, in my business. I got something new to say. I got a new client. I've got this. I got that. The next time I'm going to New York, it's because somebody's paying me to be up there, not because I'm homeless. So for me, I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Because every time I talk to him, he don't tell me about nothing new. He tells me about him fulfilling his basic needs, meaning he's not homeless anymore. He's not homeless anymore. He has a place to stay, which is fucking fantastic. You hear me? But I'm like, that's basic. I want to thrive. And what are you doing about that? And that answer is not a motherfucking thing. Period. He's not answering me a motherfucking thing about him thriving. So in other words, I had to in the gym, I was working out, and I had to check myself. I had to say, what are you listening to him for? What does he know about manifestation? You just came from a guy's house who has 2 condos, one in Atlanta, one in Miami. That's probably over $1,500. He's probably paying like $3,000 in rent alone. And that's not water bills, that's not light bill, that's not cars, that's not none of that. That is fucking that is just rent. And we sitting here talking about $500-$600 of rent. What are you talking about? You better get you a vision board. You better get your vision board out and start seeing a better future. You tripping. So he said you're sharing an apartment with other people. I said, that's not the life I'm trying to live in the next 5 months. In the next 5 months, I want to be flipping my own shit. In the next 5 months, I'll be flipping my own goddamn houses. I'll be doing exactly what was given to me for a year and 11 months. So, for me, like I said, it's like I said with this video, you gotta be super mindful of who you let in your ear gate, in your heart, because real talk, people will sound good and put you in the spirit of confusion, because but at the same time, it showed me how much I've grown. It showed me how different I am. How different I've become. I'm not where I want to be yet, but shit, I ain't there. And I said, and people, you know what the thing is about the spirit of confusion? It comes with illusion. And it makes people think that they're winning, they're probably winning in a bigger way than they actually are. And that's one of the deepest things about confusion. It will make you think that you're winning in a way that you're really not. You're not really winning like that. And am I saying no? Am I saying I'm where I want to be? Nah. But shit, I ain't confused. That's one thing I ain't. Shit, I am not confused. And I'm so happy about that. I am not confused. I know where I'm going. I know what my goals are. I know what I want to do with my life. I am not confused. Especially as a young man, I am thankful I ain't confused. Far from it. If anything in the world, I'm too intelligent. God damn it. Shit. I need to learn how to be dumb sometimes. Shit. I wish somebody could teach me how to play dumb and shit. Because, god damn it. Shit, being intelligent fucking sucks. You niggas be trying to play you. You be like, what? Who you trying to play, my nigga? But yeah, it's spirit of confusion is a real thing. But I appreciated his conversation. I appreciated his wisdom. I appreciated some of the things that he said. Like he said women date for success, men date for sexual appeal. And I agree with that. And we were talking about this chick where we talking about this chick who's bad as hell, who went from no booty to booty. And she in his words, she said she upgraded her sexual market value. And she said I could understand why when women upgrade their body, and I don't just mean like plastic surgery, but I mean like they really up their game. Like they look good, skin is clear, skin is popping, they eating the right things, they drinking water, they mind their business, and they up their sexual value, right? And I don't just mean like, and when I take it deeper, I don't just mean physical stuff. I mean they're able to help you manifest, because sexual energy, using sexual energy, meaning they're able to help you manifest, they're able to help you create, they're able to make you look good, they're able to help you put you in position to do things that you've never done before. Because with the right woman who's mastered her sexual energy, she'll have you manifesting like a motherfucker. You be in the pussy, you come out with 10 new business ideas and shit. And you be like, damn, now I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about you find 10 different ways to make $1 million. You in the right set of legs. So that's something I agree with. But and he be saying some shit sometimes that make a lot of sense. But for instance, there's a difference in frequency that we're on. He got this chick that we was talking about. I think she got like 100,000 followers. She bad as fuck. And he said he was talking about astrology, and he got the leverage from the comments to the DM. That means you got her to respond and have a conversation in the DM, which is not often for a very beautiful female with a large following, right? When it's outside of business. And he did a reading for her for free. Mind you, this is so deep. The day he called me, which is yesterday, and early this morning, I got a client who's just as beautiful. Booty big, thick as fuck, all that. And she paid me like that. I mentioned I do readings. She sent me that $77 in 2 minutes. So again, I was like, why did I get paid and you not get? And I haven't spoken to her in months. I called. She hit me up about Facebook marketing, and when I called her back, I was talking about how I make money on Facebook now. And I said, yo, I do astrology reading. She said, what? And she said, how much is it? You know, she didn't say how much it is. I said, I heard $77 for that. I didn't even do the chart. I paid somebody else to do it. Let's keep it 100. I paid somebody to do the synastry chart. I'll keep it 100. But because I'm a businessman, I'm just sitting there doing it. It's not my strength right now. My strength is teaching. But why did I get this beautiful woman to pay me? And this chick you found on Instagram, shaking her booty and all that, fine shit, and you gave her all this information for free. We on a different frequency. So when I gave the client free information, this was after she paid me. And I think if I would have told her 150, she would have paid that too. Shit. But like I said, you gotta be careful who's in your ear gate, because when y'all not on the same frequency, oh shit. Shit. You be thinking y'all on the same type of time, and y'all not. You're not. You're not. You're not. As much as I care for him, as much as he was a good person to me, we're not on the same frequency. Because all the women in my life are beautiful, thick as hell, fine as shit. And here I am, this big-headed guy, talking about the glasses, and they pay. Okay? They pay. Every one of my clients in astrology is a woman. They pay. Okay? So, like I said, because I don't be manipulating them, I don't be lying to them. And they come back with their friends. Shit. God damn it. They come back with their friends. Like this is the guy I was telling you about. In real life, I've seen that. They come and say, yo, they bring their family and say, yo, this guy, but yo, he be talking that astrology shit, yo, he be on point. He be saying some scary shit that I did, yo. I don't know what he doing, but yo, he be saying shit that I'm clear cognizant, but I'm also precognitive. So I'll say some shit that you said like 10 minutes ago, and I won't even know that you said that. I'm precognition. I have great precognition. So the fact that the woman who gave me a place to stay at the time really helped me get into my spiritual purpose as a teacher, I'm like, yo, bro, we not even on the same type of time. I get paid for a little, yeah, I may be temporarily going through some things financially, but that's not, that's just a, that, all that, all, the only, that's gonna sort the, All that is one is all that. The only thing that's gonna change that is finances. Let my finances change, we won't even be talking about the same shit. I'd be like, my nigga, what you talking about? All your dreams are unrealistic. Like, I hate the Piscean fashion of, oh, I want to be a rapper, I want to be a musician. What? Musicians not paying no bills. Fuck. Where is that paying some bills, my nigga? Shit. Like, I don't understand. That's like confusion. Like, what are you talking about? So, here's why I say his Libra rising is not balanced. When you want to do the Piscean thing of doing music, right? Which is fine. The opposite of that is Virgo. Virgo and Gemini rule skills, like handcrafting stuff, like mastery of a craft. That's why you always see Virgos and Geminis trying to master a craft, like a skill set. You never see them doing some, well, say never, but a lot of the times you don't really see them doing no lofty shit. You see them mastering a skill set, a set of skills, a set of thinking, a set of socialization that they can monetize. They're teaching a certain, and I could point you out to so many Virgos that have mastered a skill set. They research, they read, they spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours reading about their craft, studying. They got libraries of books, they have audio tapes. They not to be, when they on top of their shit, they not to be fucked with. You go into their house, you say, yo, I got a whole, yo, man, right? And I'm like, yo, what skill can you develop to pay the bills so you can be free to do whatever it is that you want to do music-wise and all that other stuff? And right now, I'm mastering the skill that's going to pay the bills. So if I want to write my book to the cows come home, I can do that. If I just want to sit there and say, my bills is paid for the next 3 months, and I'm gonna go to Africa somewhere in Cape Town, and I'm gonna write my book because I can afford it, and I'm not missing out on nothing because my houses are bringing me in residual income, and I'm still getting paid on the inside. That's a different type of mindset than saying, oh, I live with somebody. It's not bad, you know, at our age of 25 and 26. I'm like, I live with somebody, and it's like, again, you sound so young and confused. Like, I live with somebody, I'm trying to figure it out, I'm doing this dream. I'm not saying, and again, I'm not even saying it's impossible, because it's possible. You feel me? It's possible. All is possible. I'm not even about shooting nobody's dream down. All is possible. But be realistic at the same time. Because if you're going to cut all the cords, say I'm going to be a rapper, and again, I'm not even saying it's impossible, but I'm like, for me, I always tell musicians and artists and authors, why struggle so deeply when you can learn something that's other than that probably complements your skill to make you some money, so you can be free to buy equipment. You can it's like, I'm not even get a job. I'm saying we can be free to buy equipment, build your studio, have your apartment, like, so you don't have to work for nobody. And because I say that because I say, yo, if you taught yourself Forex, why don't you teach yourself to the point where you can pay all of your bills, you can be self-sufficient fully, you don't need to room with nobody, you can do whatever you want, and then you could buy whatever it is. The reason why I say that is because one of my mentors from afar did that. He did that with marketing. He did the marketing thing. He crushed it. He just paid ads on Facebook and Instagram with what the hell is this shit called? What is this shit called? With pay-per-click ads. He does affiliate marketing, and he's doing paid ads with marketing, right? And he blew up. And you know what he does now? He does music. He's doing track. He's doing cross-country track. He's doing whatever the fuck his heart desires because he does not have to worry about his bills being paid. Period. He does not have to worry about his bills being paid. So, I say all this to say, you just gotta be so super careful about who you let in your ear gate. Because I say, yo, you're not where I want to be. You don't have the goals I want. You've never been somebody that I want to be like. You have great knowledge, but like you're not like I don't see you striving for nothing that I care for. And again, I'm not saying he's not going to be magnificent. He's not going to be great one day. But I said every time I talk to you, you are in a spirit of confusion. You always got something that I don't even like. That's like, okay, bro. Like you sound 26 right now. You sound like, oh, okay, bro. You want to be rich? I'm like, but are you studying how to be rich? Are you around people who trying to be rich? And I mean, being wealthy means not just rich, but wealthy. When most rappers are really high-paid slaves. Come on now. Let's talk heavy for real. You know? And like he don't want to hear, and that's what I hate about Mercury and Pisces. They don't want to hear no real shit. They want to hear shit that strokes their fucking ego, and I don't have time for that. And because he's a Leo moon too, he wants to hear shit that strokes his ego. And I'm like, bro, I said I get it. Now we was talking about me and why my situation is what it is, but I said it's actually the same thing. I'm not for the fuckery, and you're not gonna play me. So because I know my worth, I know my value, I'ma stay 10 toes down and build my shit. I'ma go hard and build my shit. And to me, that's more important. And he said, yeah, you're a Scorpio North Node. He says, one thing I want to talk to another astrologer about it. He keeps saying Scorpios don't get nothing by themselves. I don't agree with that. Like, I don't agree that Scorpios don't get things by themselves. Like, he said Scorpios always leverage other people. And I don't fully agree with that. I think they know how. I think they do it in a useful way. But I don't think Scorpios only leverage other people. I don't believe that. I believe that they know how to do both. They know how to leverage other people, but they also know how to they also know how to build their own shit from the ground up if need be. You know? And I think that comes with a level of rising like the phoenix. How can you learn to rise like the phoenix if the only time you're building is when you're on somebody else's plane, somebody else's boat, somebody else's wagon? And I said, but you're not in control of that. You feel what I'm saying? You're not in control of what happens when you're on somebody else's ship, somebody else's dime, somebody else's time. Yeah, I said, I get that, but that time in my life is over. I get that, but like, it's time to go boss up and do my own shit. It's time to prove to myself I can do it. And I don't think he's there in his life either, where he wants to prove to himself, yo, I can do it on my own. Because he's a rising in Libra, so he always feels like he needs a partner to build with. And he likes to puff up his chest because he's moving in Leo. Say, yeah, I did it by myself. And I said, yeah, you may get your own money by yourself, but every time I see you, you're with a partner. Every time I see you moving with somebody, you're with a partner. You're sharing resources. You're partnering with somebody to build something or whatever. It's not even like you're sharing resources all the time. And you're sharing resources so you can elevate. You're partnering with somebody so you can build. and that's not a negative thing. That's just his makeup. Correct. And like I don't understand when he says, oh nah, they, like he said, Diddy didn't make it by himself, Gary Vaynerchuk didn't make it by himself, and I get that, but like there was that point where he wasn't a nobody, and he had to grind like he didn't have $2 in his pocket. So I don't understand when you say, yo, I gotta you always gotta you always you always gotta get it out the mud. You don't. He said that's that Taurus behavior where you want to get it out the mud. I don't believe that. If I gotta transform, I gotta get it out the mud. And he says Taurus, Scorpios don't do that. They go find somebody who got a tree that did it out the mud already, and they use that. I said, yeah, I've done that, but it's like that's limiting, because yeah, that's limiting, because that means that Scorpio is not strong enough to stand on their own 2 feet, and I don't understand that. Now again, along the way, they're not like Taurus, where they don't have a problem sitting in a shared room for a whole year to save their money. The Taurus would be like, nah, fuck that, I'm gonna go get my own apartment immediately. That's the difference between Scorpio and Taurus. Scorpio will go find somebody that they can just rent a room for a year. Because a Scorpio gave me this advice. She said, go rent a room for a year, save your money until you can deposit on a house. That's some Scorpio advice. A Taurus told me, go get your own apartment. Get what I mean? I've dealt with a Taurus realtor. I've dealt with a Scorpio realtor. They give me 2 different polarities of advice. Period. And is that wrong? No. But they both get the means in 2 different ways. But at the same time, what I've learned when I was sharing resources is that you still got to be self-sufficient. You still got to be dominant. You still got to own your own shit. Like, just because you're sharing resources doesn't mean like all your problems go away. Sharing sometimes here's what I've learned about sharing resources. Sometimes when you share resources, it amplifies your problems, because now you have to compromise. You have to communicate with another person. You have to do a whole lot more, because you're not the only one, let's say, in your living space. So, like I used to work in here, like not work at McDonald's, but like come into McDonald's, charge my phone, and work my business. I made a $500 sale sitting right over there. I did a $500 training, $300 consultation standing right over there in that mirror. He's never done that before. Let me say it again. I stood right there, and I sat for a whole 2 hours on a Zoom call training somebody on how to build their Instagram. Because I do this shit for work. So, like again, I think it comes to a place where, you really got to be mindful of your ego, because he's not built like me, and he always giving an excuse why he got to do stuff for free, why he's bad with money, or why he loses his situation, why he was homeless. I said, well, we are not in the same situation, and I had to. That's one thing. That's Bernardes. I'll leave you with this. When it comes to your ear gate or your heart gate, you gotta be really careful who you compare yourself to. Let me say that again. When it comes to your ear gate and your heart gate, you gotta be super, super careful who you compare yourself to. I've made this bad mistake over and over and over, because my parents used to compare me. So I always felt like not good enough. So I felt like I need to compare myself to people. And I had to be so careful about who I compare myself to, because a lot of people are not on my journey. A lot of people don't have my drive. A lot of people don't have my feelings, my emotions about what I do. and and they don't. And you're welcome. And when you sit, here's a fucked up thing that you could do. When you compare yourself to the wrong person, you'll attach yourself to an identity that is none of your fucking business. Let me say that again. When you compare yourself to a person who's not even on your fucking level, you attach yourself to somebody or an identity. You identify with somebody that's not even that you're not even supposed to be fucking with from the beginning. Now, you may have certain similar lessons that you're supposed to learn. Yeah, like we all do. We all human, but don't compare yourself to somebody, especially if they're not on your level. And whether it be financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, I had to understand that he's not on my level. And I said, just because you got a place to stay right now, doesn't mean you're better. You're better, because you're not. You're not. Because, like I said, as long as I have my mind and my spirit set, my heart set, I'm Gucci. I'm always gonna get what I want. But if you are lost, you don't know what your goals are. His goals are so lofty that when I first met him, he has the same amount of content in his rap that when I left him, he has the same amount of content. That's why I said we're not on the same frequency. I don't have the same amount of content. I don't have the same amount of. The only thing that's changed is the same amount of money in my bank account, and that's soon to change. Period. That is very soon to change. So, like I said, you gotta be careful who you opening your gate, your heart.